There's a photo on the fridge from a night we can't recreate. We were leaning into laughter like it couldn't fade. Now we stand in the kitchen, talking small and safe, like we're careful not to wake something we can't face. But we still say I love you, like it's part of the script, but it lands a little lighter on familiar lips. Nothing's loudly broken, nothing's on the floor, but silence has a way of saying more. Are we just holding on to memories like they're stronger than the truth, like history can substitute what we're not getting through? Are we just holding on to memories, afraid of what we'll find if we stop romanticizing who we were that time? We used to reach across the bed when the room goes dark, but you don't reach for my thoughts when they're falling apart. We talk about someday like it's already ours, but never about the distance growing between the hours. I edit what I'm feeling before it hits the air, careful not to tilt this fragile kind of care. If love is still alive, why does it feel rehearsed, like we memorized the lines but forgot the verse? So we just holding on to memories, calling that enough, like comfort equals closeness when it's barely even love. Are we just holding on to memories, too careful to admit we're protecting what we have more than what this is? If we met each other now, will we still begin? Or are we loyal to where we've already been? I don't want nostalgia to be the only glue holding up a version that isn't true. Are we just holding on to memories while slowly letting go, choosing what was beautiful over what we know? Are we just holding on to memories because it's easier to stay than face the quiet truth we've been circling anyway? We're not who we were. And maybe what can live on yesterday, on yesterday. Your shoes are by the doorway like they've always been. Your voice fills up the kitchen with ordinary things. We talk about the weather like nothing's underneath, but there's a careful distance in the way we speak. I feel it in my chest every time we're quiet. Something's asking me to move, but I deny like closeness is instinct, not something we're fighting for. I memorize the comfort of your steady breath and wonder if it's love or just fear of what comes next. If I say what I'm thinking, will it all collapse? Or have we both been waiting for someone else to ask? I don't know how to leave you when nothing's clearly wrong, when we're not falling apart, just not as strong. I don't know how to leave you without losing who I've been. Half of my reflection is standing in your If love has changed its shape, does that mean it's gone, or just quieter than what we built it on? I'm not afraid of hurting, I'm afraid of the space where your absence takes your place. I don't know how to leave you, but I'm learning what is true. Staying out of habit isn't loving you. I don't know how to leave you, and maybe that's the cost of building something beautiful that's slowly being lost. I don't know how to leave you. But I don't know how to stay like this. We still sleep on the same side of a bed that's grown too wide. Your back turned like a question you don't wanna decide. We say see you in the morning like nothing's underneath, but there's a quiet hesitation every time you speak. I feel it in the pauses that stretch a little long, like something slowly leaving but hasn't fully gone. We don't say it out loud, but it's there in the air. Are we holding on with love or just scared? I'm stuck between goodbye and forever, between walking out and staying here, between the comfort of your shoulder and the truth I'm starting to hear. I'm stuck between goodbye and forever, and I don't know what's worse, losing you all at once or losing us in slow reverse. Ooh. You still reach for my hand when we cross a crowded street, but you don't reach for my thoughts when they're heavy and deep. We talk about next summer like it's already planned, but avoid the fragile question of where we really stand. I measure every silence for what it might reveal, trying not to notice how different this feels. If love is for forever, or finally admit we've been faded in together. I don't need perfect answers, I just need something clear, because love shouldn't feel like living in between. Here I'm stuck between goodbye and forever, and I'm tired of the line between almost moving forward and slowly falling behind. I'm stuck between goodbye and forever, and maybe that's the truth. If love can't choose a direction, it's already choosing to lose. We're not broken, just undecided. And sometimes that's worse. Out with you. We don't fight like we used to, we just let things slide. Sweep it under conversation, keep it dignified. You still ask about my morning, like you're checking off a list, and I answer like it's normal, something I shouldn't miss. There's a careful way you hold me, like I'm fragile glass, but you don't hold the silence when the heavy moments pass. I watch you change the subject when it starts to feel too real, and I swallow what I'm thinking like it's selfish to feel. It's not one single fracture, it's the weight of a little seams, tiny almost breaks, splitting at the dreams. And loving you is getting harder, not because you're cruel, but because I'm doing double what we used to do. Loving you is getting harder, and I don't know when. Care turned into carrying both of us again. You say you're overwhelmed, that the world is loud and fast, and I try to be the quiet where you can collapse, but even quiet spaces need something in return, not just borrow comfort with no intent to learn. I miss being surprised by the way you show up strong. Now I brace before I ask in case it comes out wrong, and I hate the way I measure every word before it lands, like honesty's a threat you won't understand. Maybe we're still loving, just differently now, but different feels a lot like I'm the only one who knows how. Loving you is getting harder, like pushing thick, thick air, like reaching for your heartbeat and finding barely there. And loving you is getting harder, and I don't wanna see the day it finally feels impossible for me. I don't want dramatic endings or a villain in the room. I just wanna feel you without having to assume. If I stop being the strong one, stop filling every gap, would we fall into each other or finally collapse? Because love should feel like shelter, not a test of how much I can bend. Loving you is getting harder, and I'm trying not to quit, trying not to count the ways this doesn't seem to fit. Loving you is getting harder, and I'm scared of what that means if effort keeps it Love shouldn't feel like something I have to endure. I've been careful with my wording, like glass between my teeth, choosing softer versions of the truth underneath. You say that's just how I am, like it's carved in stone, and I nod like I'm not hoping you'll outgrow what you've shown. I adjust around your edges so they don't cut too deep. Call it understanding, call it love I get to keep. But every time I shrink a bit to make the moment smooth, something honest in my chest starts slipping out of you. I keep telling myself growth just takes time, but time's been passing, and so have I. I've been waiting for you to change for me, like love is a leverage I can use. Like if I stay here long enough, you'll see what I'm about to lose. I've been waiting for you to change for me while pretending I'm okay. But hope can look a lot like giving myself away. You promise small improvements on your better days. Say you're working on it in familiar ways, and I wanna believe you, God, I really do. But wanting isn't proof that something's coming true. I replay our conversations like the clues I didn't read, searching for a future hidden in your maybe. But love shouldn't feel like a long negotiation between who you are, my imagination. If I have to keep convincing my heart to understand, maybe I'm not patient, maybe I'm just scared to stand. I've been waiting for you to change for me, like that's what lovers do. Like compromise means bending until I'm see-through. I've been waiting for you to change for me and calling that devotion. But maybe I've been drowning in slow motion. What if this is who you are, not unfinished, just complete? And I'm the one still editing what I hoped you'd be. If I stopped expecting, would there still be us? Or is potential just a softer word for dust? I've been waiting for you to change for me, but maybe that's unfair, to love someone conditionally while saying that I care. I've been waiting for you to change for me and losing parts of mine. You don't have to become someone else, but I can't stay behind. You are who you are, and I am who I am. Maybe love isn't about waiting. Maybe it's about knowing when it won't. Natural breathing, your breathing and your robot keys. Before you start to speak, I know the shape of evenings when you're tired but still here. The quiet isn't lonely when I know you're somewhere near. We don't laugh the way we used to, but we don't fall apart. We've mastered coexistence like it's some kind of art. And I can feel the thinning in the spaces we don't fill, but I stay inside the comfort of a love that's standing still. It's not that this is perfect or even what I need. It's just the thought of nothing where us used to be. I'm afraid of being alone without you, of the silence in the room, of the side of the bed that won't be shaped like you. I'm afraid of being alone without you, not just losing what we had, but losing who I am when I'm not your better half. You still reach across the table, absent-minded touch, like habit is a language that doesn't ask for much. And maybe that's the problem, maybe that's the glue. We're not exactly happy, just afraid to undo. I've built my days around you in ways I didn't see. Your name inside my passwords, your books beside my key. If I pull you from the picture, who is left in view? Is there a version of me that isn't built on you? I tell myself it's loyalty that keeps me holding tight, but maybe it's the terror of an unfamiliar night. I'm afraid of being alone without you, of the echo of goodbye, of waking up and realizing love was just a tie. I'm afraid of being alone without you, even if we barely move. At least the world feels certain when I'm standing next to you. If we ended this tomorrow, would I miss you or the role, the comfort of your presence or the outline of control? If love has slowly faded, why am I still here? Is it you that I am holding, or just my fear? Because staying isn't brave if it's rooted in disguise, and leaving isn't failure if it finally opens eyes. I'm afraid of being alone without you, but I'm scared of staying too, of shrinking into someone who forgets what's true. I'm afraid of being alone without you, yet something inside knows love shouldn't be a shelter from the fear of letting go. You're still here beside me, and somehow it feels safer than honest. If I let you go, will I finally find myself, or just the quiet I've been running from? There's a crack along the ceiling that we both pretend's not there. Like if we never point it out, it won't split the air. You still ask about my day without looking up, scrolling through the silence like that's enough. I wait for you to notice the tremble in my tone, but you're not like I'm dramatic when I'm barely holding on. It's not the fights we're missing, it's the will to try. I'm talking about the distance you keep denying. We're falling apart and you don't care, or maybe you just don't see the way I'm losing pieces of what this meant to me. We're falling apart and you don't care. You say we're just stressed out, but love shouldn't feel this fragile every time we talk it out. You call this just a rough patch, like it's passing rain, but storms don't last this long without leaving stains. I'm tired of being patient while you stay the same, tired of being careful with the truth I'm scared to name. I bring up how I'm feeling, you say I'm overthinking, like wanting something deeper or some kind of weakness. If I stop fighting for this, would you even notice, or would the quiet finally feel like focus? We're falling apart and you don't care, at least not like I do. I'm carrying the weight while it barely moves you. We're falling apart and you don't care, and that's the hardest part. Not that we're breaking slowly, but that you're fine with where we are. I don't need perfection or constant fireworks. I just need to know this still hurts. If losing me doesn't shake your ground, then maybe I'm the only one still hanging around. We're falling apart and you don't care, and I'm too tired to pretend that silence equals healing, or distance means we'll mend. We're falling apart and you don't care, and maybe that's the clue. If I'm the only one still scared, there's nothing left to lose. We're falling apart. And I'm the only one who feels it. We don't slam doors anymore, we just close them slow. Careful with the volume of things we used to throw. You still sit beside me, close but not quite near, like there's something in the middle neither of us names out here. We've mastered being civil, we've mastered being kind, but kindness isn't closeness when distance fills the lines. Nothing here is shattered, nothing here is loud, but quiet disappointments still weigh a crowd. The hardest part is still loving you when loving doesn't feel the same, when I can see the fading but I stay inside the frame. The hardest part You still reach for conversation when it's easy, light and thin, but pull away from anything that asks where we've been. I miss the way you'd fight for us before you learned to cope, before it's fine became the ceiling of our hope. And I keep adjusting expectations lower than before, telling myself that wanting more is asking for a war. If love is only comfort and never sacrifice, are we protecting peace or just avoiding life? The hardest part is still loving you when effort feels one-sided, when I'm carrying the questions we've both politely silenced. The hardest part is still loving you and not knowing what to choose, because leaving feels like failure, but staying slowly bruises. If I stop being the steady one, would you notice the shift? Would you reach for something real? Or let it drift? I don't need dramatic endings or someone else to blame. I just need to know we're not loving out of name. The hardest part is still loving you when I feel it in my chest. But love without direction doesn't always mean it's best. The hardest part is still loving you, and maybe that's the truth. Sometimes hearts don't stop caring even when they're through. The hardest part is not the leaving, it's loving you enough to question it. Natural breathing on the fridge, from a night we can't recreate. We were leaning into laughter like it couldn't fade. Now we stand in the kitchen, talking small and safe, like we're careful not to wake something we can't face. We still say I love you like it's part of the script, but it lands a little lighter on familiar lips. Nothing's loudly broken, nothing's on the floor, but silence has a way of saying more. Are we just holding on to memories like they're stronger than the truth? Like history can't substitute what we're not getting through. Are we just holding on to memories, afraid of what we'll find if we stop romanticizing who we were that time? You still reach across the bed when the room goes dark, but you don't reach for my thoughts when they're falling apart. We talk about someday like it's already ours, but never about the distance growing between the hours. I edit what I'm feeling before it hits the air, careful not to tilt this fragile kind of care. If love is still alive, why does it feel rehearsed? Like we memorized the lines but forgot the verse. while slowly letting go, choosing what was beautiful over what we know. Are we just holding on to memories because it's easier to stay than face the quiet truth? We've been circling anyway. We're not who we were, and maybe love can't live on yesterday. We still sleep on the same side of a bed that's grown too wide. Your back turned like a question you don't want to decide. We say see you in the morning like nothing's underneath, but there's a quiet hesitation every time you speak. I feel it in the pauses that stretch a little long, like something slowly leaving but hasn't fully gone. We don't say it out loud, but it's there in the air. Are we holding on with love or just scared? I'm stuck between goodbye and forever, between walking out and staying here, between the comfort of your shoulder and the truth I'm starting to hear. I'm stuck between goodbye and forever, and I don't know what's worse, losing you all at once or losing us in slow reverse. You still reach for my hand when we cross a crowded street, but you don't reach for my thoughts when they're heavy and deep. We talk about next summer like it's already planned, but avoid the fragile question of where we really stand. I measure every silence for what it might reveal, trying not to notice how different this feels. If love is still alive, why does it feel so thin? Like we're standing at the door, but neither walking in. I'm stuck between goodbye and forever, between hope and letting go, between believing we'll get better and already knowing we won't. I'm stuck between goodbye and forever, and it's tearing me in two, because staying feels dishonest, believing scares me too. If I say the word goodbye, will you fight for forever, or finally admit we've been fading together? I don't need perfect answers, I just need something clear, because love shouldn't feel like living in between here. I'm stuck between goodbye and forever, and I'm tired of the line between almost moving forward and slowly falling behind. I'm stuck between goodbye and forever, and maybe that's the truth. If love can't choose a direction, it's already choosing to lose. We're not broken, just undecided, and sometimes that's worse.